everybody, welcome to G4G on YouTube. Today we're here in Marvel Future Fight and we're taking a look at some of the newest updates that we got to the game, bringing in Deadpool, Fantomex, Psylocke, Strife, and a couple other new things that we've got going on. Some new uniforms for Cable and Colossus, so definitely a lot of fun. And hey, it's always good to see the mutants getting some love, because honestly, sometimes MCU all day, every day just gets a little bit boring. And it's a really, really good thing that Marvel Future Fight's been able to tap into the X-Men universe and the mutant universe and everything. So, upon logging in just now, this is the first time that I've seen this, we have an MCU 10-year anniversary login rewards going on. So the 7 days of week 1, you can see we get everything here from the 1,000,000 gold all the way on up to a 6-star rank up ticket. Week 2 gives us a 6-star Black Widow and 300 crystals. Week number 3, you're getting a Extreme Obelisk and a 6-star Iron Man. 4, you're getting 300 crystals, 200 BAM, a 6-star Wasp. 5, maybe 300 Nordstones of Chaos are decent there in 5. 50 level 5 experience chips are cool. 6-star Captain, 300 crystals, a 6-star BP, legendary comic card chest and a 6-star Hulk, 300 crystals, and a tier 2 advancement ticket. If you already own 6-star of a character, you're going to get the respective bios. If the obtained character is at a lower rank, it'll immediately come up to 6. And please note that reward for week 1 is a 6-star rank up, not a mega rank up. So, that is pretty cool. Oh, and Domino. Domino's new to this. So that's pretty cool over there. The 1,000,000 gold stands out. The 6-star rank up stand out for newer players. And veterans alike just get their bios, and they're people who can be tier 3'd. So unless you have them tier 3'd, bios are nothing really to shake a stick at. And if you do have them as tier 3, their bios can be then fed into a native T2, like the Black Order, your Thanoses, your Odins, your Apocalypses, all those kinds of guys. So bios, even for people you have, of course, is nothing to shake an angry stick at. So we're going to jump into the game over here. You see some updates going on strictly because it's the first time I've loaded up Future Fight on Nox since the patch, but I have already gone through a day of it on my own. However, at the time that it came in, it was ridiculously late for me, and I only got to do but so much with the new patch prior to going to bed, because, you know, it comes out of maintenance right in the middle of the night. So, 7-day check-in event, MCU, there's that 6-star rank up ticket at the end of the week, and of course, the monthly check-in. 100 bio selectors isn't too bad either. So the Epic Quest is for X-Force, new uniforms for Cable and Colossus, and Deadpool can be advanced to tier 3. We don't want legendary battles right now. If you do the bios, you'll notice for the subscription, Colossus has dropped off being an exclusive character, which is pretty cool. Community, let me know, who do you think is better? Do you think it is Nadia or Ghost? Let me know which one you think I should be dumping my sub into, because honestly, I think from what I've heard, Nadia is the way to go right now. That she's just stronger than Ghost. Now, obviously, they occupy different spheres. One's blaster, one is speed. However, I do believe just overall Nadia is coming in as a little bit of a higher power level. So I've been picking her. So we have of course, a log-in faction battle where you have to pick between the Inhumans and the X-Men. The Inhumans want to protect their Terrigen Mist because they need it. However, X-Men get a disease when they are exposed to the Terrigen Mist. So the X-Men want to stop it. I sided with the X-Men when they were losing yesterday. I could have picked either side, but I went with the X-Men, and they're now winning. Here you go. The Faction War intro will tell you what's going on, and you can see Cyclops facing off against Black Bolt. There is Fantomex, so if you were a Marvel Avengers Alliance player, you will probably remember that Fantomex was in the game and considered one of the weakest characters in the game for a long time. However, he did count as a mutant. What made him so weak is that his whole kit kind of relied on him having Ava out, and getting Ava out was an AoE. A tactician putting out an AoE in the potential face of an infiltrator was going to get his ass beat, and that was really the problem with Fantomex. However, if you poured some things into Fantomex in some of the mid to later games, ISOs really made him stronger than he initially appeared to be, and since he was so overlooked at that point, you could do some really sneaky things with Fantomex. Also, because he was X-Force, if you teamed him up with X-Force Psylocke, he would get stealthy. Finally, he wouldn't have to worry about infiltrators. We have a limited event going on. This is to get these characters up and running. I've already claimed the reward for Fantomex. You also get rewards for 30 Deadpool, Domino, Psylocke, Strife, and then 60 Deadpool, Domino, Psylocke, Fantomex, Strife, 3-star masteries, and 6-star masteries. So in other words, do with the characters like you normally would do, and you're going to get stuff. The event shop is where I was getting Fantomex from. Some people have said, no, don't get him. Go for the Norn Stones. I'm not really too sure what crack they're smoking. I'm picking Fantomex. Because new characters, of course, are always beneficial as they bump your stats up in certain areas. You can continue to do pre-release events, however, they no longer award you with tokens, they just give you random stuff. Dimension Rift, nothing going on there today. There's the new uniform for Colossus. So let's go over here and take a look at Fantomex since I have him unlocked. Details: speed, mutant, male, superhero, critical damage, critical rate, and attack speed up. And gonna go ahead and mastery him here. Because he's a mutant, he's using Mcron shards, which is not a bad thing. Character gear: twin handguns, Fantomex mask, an X-Force belt, and there's Ava. His skills: after gathering targets into one area using Fantomex's misdirection, link to Mare C, Ava, to stack as many all defense decrease effects as possible. Also, all defense decrease effects of Mare C Ava can be applied to world bosses and targets that don't have debuffs. That's cool. Bonsoir, so he is a physical attacker. So we have damage, Calling Ava applies to enemies, they get a stun, applies to self, all attacks up, speed up, critical rate up, removes incapacitation, weapon 13, activation rate when his hit points is below 99%, mind resist goes up, super armor, all defense, and he gets a recovery, so a recovery obelisk might not be too bad for him. Misdirection, mind control, and stun. That's always handy. I don't know if he's going to be meta for speed. Maybe not ABXs and everything, but that's good. There's Merci Ava, or Thank You Ava. He does a bind, which brings people together. Decrease in defenses, and then his attacks and everything go up. At tier 2, increases damage dealt to mutants. Very interesting. More on that in a moment. And as a leader, all speeds go up. Perhaps a recovery ISO would be good for him. Coming over here, let's take a look at some of what we don't have unlocked. I've heard some pretty good things about Psylocke already. I've heard that she's actually very, very good with mind damage obelisks. Betsy Braddock, who, of course, if you remember correctly, was related to Union Jack. A skilled and deadly martial artist, Elizabeth Betsy Braddock is a mutant with powerful telepathic and telekinetic abilities. She wields a variety of psi-powered weapons, most notably her signature telekinetic katana blade. She's almost always got that. So let's max her out. As a leader, she increases mind resist. As a passive to herself, mind resist goes up. Immunity to dominance of spirit effect. Not too sure what that is yet. Activation rate. When skilled butterfly phantasm is used, she penetrates super armor, barrier shield, all damage immune, which is cool. Increases mind damage. There's a mind energy damage. Mind resistance decrease along with a bind. Reflects 50% of mind damage received. 100% chance to immunity to all attacks. That's, of course, really good. Mind damage. And then applies to enemies. Mind control, dodge rate up, mind damage up, mind damage up. So there you go. Give her a mind damage obelisk, clearly. And I do believe she's the one that you get for buying the pack, kind of like the Magneto pack. Here's Strife. Strife has got some interesting stuff from what I've heard. Most notably a new debuff called Fracture, and we'll be taking a look at that. As a leader, activation rate when debuffed, remove all debuffs. We've seen that before. Energy Curtain decreases damage received, immune to incapacitation and fracture. Chance to penetrate. There's a stun and a fracture. Incapacitation. Incapacitation along with fracture. Move. You can move using your directionals on that one. Actually, there's two of them in a row. Deals shock damage, incapacitation, energy. And he's going to be an energy attacker. He's got an invincible, he's got a stun. This guy could be really, really good. So what the fracture is... let me see if I remember where I saw that. Was it the library? No. I gotta remember where. Game guide? Skill. Yeah. Okay. That's where it was. Charms, recharges, fracture. Fracture decreases an enemy attack. Stackable. If a fractured enemy recovers, then fracture is removed, but the recovery effect is decreased. Fracture cannot be removed by purifying. If it's stacked, then each stack is removed whenever the HP is healed. So, this does limit some health regen over here, and it can't be removed by people who do like wasp level stuff. So this could be really good to healers. So every time they heal, the fractured stack goes off, but their recovery effect is whittled down. So if you bring out somebody like we just saw with the increased damage to mutants, and then they're fractured, people like Wolverine might have an issue. So this could be a counter to Wolverine in some places where you see him, like Timeline Battle. Alright, let's jump back into it. We'll save the rest for the best for last with Deadpool. Here's Domino at max potential, which is 60. She's speed. Skilled mutant mercenary with the ability to manipulate probability in her favor. Nema Thurman's paralyzer and constant incredible luck. I read something recently that said, here's the worst mutant in history. There is a guy who was created when Domino was born that receives all the damage that Domino takes. It essentially, like, travels through the mystical universe and hits him when Domino is hit. That's kind of crazy. As a leader, crit rate goes up and ignores target dodge rate. Dodge rate up on her. Guaranteed dodge, critical damage, increased critical rate, so maybe a crit-based obelisk for her or a dodge-based one. Physical attack, stun with a physical attack, increases skill cooldown on enemies. I haven't seen that yet. She reflects some damage with physical attack. Burn damage, 30% chance of missing attacks, so almost like a blind. Burn damage and a stun. She could be interesting. Don't really know if she's going to be meta, though. You've got Quicksilver, which was up there, and of course Bucky and Luna. That's a tough one to break into, and that's very interesting to be able to say that about speed. Usually Blast is the tough one to break into. Oh, maybe did I not max? Hold on, I might not have clicked Domino enough. Let's just... No, okay. 70, yeah, sorry about that. Didn't bring Domino up all the way there. Ultimate skill applies to enemies. A 3% decrease of all defenses, stacks up to 100%. Wow. Applies to himself. Damage goes up for an attack. And then there's that penetration again. As a leader, plus 6% increase of recovery rate, which is cool. Haven't seen that in a bit on new characters. He gets a whole lot of buffs. Passive activation rate when hit points below 20%. Recovery up. Probably not worth a recovery obelisk on him, clearly. Except maybe this. When hit points are below 99%, increases guaranteed crit rate is up, skill damage is up, he's got a recovery. Stun and bleed damage. Critical rate. Stun with a decrease in defense, and to himself he gets super armor and defenses go up. Applies to enemy, get a paralyzed. His attacks go up, so that's a good one to lead with. And he removes incapacitations. And then chance to penetrate and immunity to all damage. So perhaps a good setup here is a 5 to get the cooldown running, get that immunity going, a 4 for the increase in attacks. The stun would probably be saved for later in the immunity. Critical rate up. Probably a 5, 4, 2, 3 maybe. And he is speed, not combat. Which is somewhat understandable there. I could kind of see that going either way. So, if you go over to challenge, you will see legendary battles. Nothing much has changed there. If we go over to mission, he's now the lead for Epic Quest. And it is over here. He makes the call to get Deadpool. Alright, so we've got several things going on here. To get Strife, it is just like Phoenix. You need a tier 2 of all of these characters. chances are you probably have Cable if you're worth your salt in the game. You may not have a tier 2 Colossus. I just happen to. You also need to get Fantomex, Psylocke, Domino, and Deadpool up, and then you will unlock Strife, who kind of reminds me of a Kumai, or not, no, excuse me, Nurkod, the way Mockingbird changed into the worthy in Marvel Avengers Alliance, and she became Nurkod of the Seas. This helmet reminds me a lot of that. So for 6,600 crystals, you get a 1-star Deadpool, and then you get Psylocke. To be honest, from what I've heard from her, she is quite good, so I'm definitely going to dump those crystals and upgrade that. Get a 6-star Psylocke. Gonna go back over to team. She might be all the way here at the edge. Or not. Okay. Probably be at the tail end of my 60s, the beginning of my 60s maybe? Nope. Wow, I don't know where they put her. Ha! Oh, I just saw her. There she is. So she is most definitely getting a Mind Obelisk equipped. Unlocks a 2-star mastery. Alright, so she is, because she's a mutant, she's using Emkron shards for her mastery. And as you can see, we are progressing through the limited event challenge over here. Yeah, I'll do that. Skip ahead a little bit. Save on some of the Emkron shards. So if you do see this get the red dot next to it, that is an indication that you have a ticket available. $180, I think I'll use... Well, maybe I'll hold on to that for any of the other characters. And there's a 3-star and a 6-star mastery complete. If you wanted to max her out from 1 to 60 using level 5s, it's only costing me 2,269, which is actually quite worth it considering how many I have. And there you go. There is an instantly maxed out Psylocke over there. And I could dump a tier 2 Mega on her almost immediately. I think I'm going to hold off on that. However, I do want to see if I can find her a good Mind Obelisk, which I've had one waiting just in case I came across something like that. Okay, yeah, there was one that I was actually building for dailies whenever I would have Obelisk dailies. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the uniforms really quick. If you go into the store and go to uniforms, you have Cable and Colossus. Now, the truth of the matter is, when it comes to uniforms, a uniform is almost always good because you see the increase in stats. It's very, very rare that a new uniform is actually bad. And that's only if it changes a skill into something really bad. There was a time when people thought the uniform for Sharog was not better, and of course that was found out to be not true really quick. Colossus does get an immunity to fracture, and he decreases all damage received, so he becomes a really good tank, and he gets these bonuses, but he's just not really meta. There's a fear there, which is not too bad. He gets penetration, but he doesn't really do that much damage. So, there's only so much penetration goes. Here, massive blow accumulates true damage, immunity, I just don't know. If you're on a budget, you can probably skip it. However, Cable, I mean, an increase to attack, an increase to defense. He's a meta character. Removes effect, hit point recovery, time freezing. 100% chance to remove the area when enemies place the effect. I mean, you get a bind in there, which is nice for grouping up. True damage goes up. I mean, Cable's a meta character. This is pretty much a no-brainer because now you can also further increase him just by simply bumping up the uniform. So we will go back to team. I don't really have Cable on any active teams, although he is definitely used in all of my blaster ABs and everything like that. Uniform experience, level 5, let's see. Only uses 5 levels 5, so why not? Uniform upgrade is based on Age of Apocalypse Robe, which I have. Phoenix Feathers, Emkron Shards. It's not too bad. So, I mean, there you go. With just several clicks, you've already bumped up your Cable to be that much more powerful. The dodge, I think I want to change that. Skill cooldown would be great. Attack speed would also be good. Don't really care about movement speed. Don't really care about dodge. Alright, I'll take that skill cooldown. Not that he needs it, because if you do his proper rotation, everything seems to be well timed to begin with. So, cool uniform. Makes him look a lot like that actor from Avatar that everybody thought was going to play Cable in the movie, but that guy is pretty thin. Didn't really have the build for it. So let's go back and look at the Epic quest real quick, and then we'll probably call it a video over here. So we're going to get Deadpool. So now we're looking pretty over here. We've upgraded Cable, we've gotten Psylocke, and relatively maxed her out. And now we've picked up a classic Deadpool. Story mission clear times 3. You're gonna get Psylocke shards from it. And there you go. That is already finished. So, that's all set. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull up in the background my Chrome, because I've got a list in one of my groups over here as to what is required for the Epic Quest, and we'll consider it a video at the end of that. So now, hey, these are going right to tier 2ing her, because we've already got her maxed out, so we're not using the BIOS to level her. Hail Hydra. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be Hydra Bob. Or was that AIM Bob? I forgot. Alright. Let us go over to... That's a friend of mine who just became a mid student. Kudos to her. I believe here in my AP group is where I've got the list. Alright, here it is. Thanks to Reddit, this is what you need to go through the entire Deadpool Epic Quest. You're going to need, of course, the 5-star characters. We've talked about it. 100 Dimension Debris, 1500 Norn Stones of Brilliance, 200 BAMs at 1, 5 at 4, 3 at 6, 1200 Emkron Shards, 1200 Phoenix Feathers. The Psylocke's Deluxe Pack gives you 6-star Psylocke, 400 Psylocke X Genes. You get 630 of the Emkron Shards, essentially having step 9 over there, 1500 crystals, and you've got gold. So there you go, guys. That's what you're going to need to complete this quest. Aside from playing things over here, now I have to use 50 energy. That should be relatively easy, I think. And hey, all this stuff goes into the faction, so that's pretty good. I mean, you're getting faction rewards here. And you're getting back some of those M-Cron shards that we've been paying out over here. So there you go, guys. There is the Deadpool quest, and there's a look at some of the characters. Clearly, I would recommend the Cable purchase. The Psylocke purchase, similar to Magneto, I would definitely get. I heard she is quite good, and I believe there's a video or some information out there for like one-shotting a tier 3 Cap, which is crazy because Tap is ridiculously tanky at tier 3, so there he is. There's Suit Cable. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I'm taking off. I've done 3 videos for today. Jessica Price, Heroes of the Storm, Marvel Future Fight. Lots of uploads going on over here. I don't know what order I'm going to do them. I think it's going to be Marvel Future Fight, Heroes of the Storm, Jessica is how I'm going to upload it. But we'll see. Take care, everybody.